I'll crack the thing open.
You know how like advent calendars for kids, those chocolates?
Yeah. Yep, we got one.
I'm like that with pumpkin pie.
No, it's my first Marvel movie. Everyone's like, oh my god, you gotta see a Marvel movie in theaters. So I'm like, okay, I'll go see Spider-Man.
Maybe they should have been in there because I have some opinions on why Georgia is in the playoffs. They should not be in the playoffs.
Oh my god.
Why should
Not
they?
you.
They just lost.
Welcome to the Beer and Sports Podcast. It froze on me real quick, so I didn't know what was going on. I'm Josh Wingate, Josh Wingate 302. This is over here. I don't know. Okay, Josh Kimmel, OUS. Josh Kimmel, what is up?
What's up, man? Yeah, I was just pouring myself a nice little glass of beer. I'm not gonna drink beer tonight.
Nice. You should have did that you should have been a man of the people.
I'm never a man of the people. I'm a man of myself. Selfish person. I assumed we had a guest tonight. I said no guest. I don't want it.
Yeah, I know.
Be me and you, no strangers.
Yeah. Well, there you go. That's what happened. No, he had something happen within his family, so he couldn't make it today, unfortunately. We'll get him on another time. So, yeah, we're talking about the AFC North today.
AFC North.
Yeah, AFC North. And we'll probably figure out something else to talk about along the way because there's nothing going on in sports, really. But first, before we talk about how there's nothing going on in sports, let's crack open our beer. So
there you go.
You have a bourbon, you said, right?
Yeah, Buffalo Trace, just basic.
There you go.
Nothing fancy. Just keeping it light tonight. Had a long weekend, 4-day weekends. Last day of the 4-day weekend. I was off Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Back to work tomorrow. A lot of drinking, a lot of fun. Bloated, so I'm just gonna keep it light.
Yeah, there you go. I have from Tripping Animals Brewing Company, which you've been to before.
Yep.
It's called No Mammies. It's a Mexican style lager.
Now, where did you get that? Because they are in Miami, Florida. I've been to the brewery. They don't distribute up here, at least not that I see.
Really?
So yeah, they distribute in Vermont or wherever the fuck you are.
Delaware. And yeah, I got at my friendly local neighborhood.
Did they have anything else, like anything on Tripping Animals? Because I wish you would have texted me because their sours are fire. I love their sours. I used to get them.
I did not. I didn't even know. There you go, nice true lager. Looks like a Mexican style lager.
And when you were down there, I said, hey, if you can, Tripping Animals was on my list for you to go visit.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, if you go back to our text, I don't know if you keep text or.
That's good.
I literally said Three Sons, Tripping Animals, Jay Wakefield. Like these are the places you need to go to in Miami. You didn't visit any of them, which is okay.
No, yeah, it rained the entire time we were there, so it made everything like a little more difficult. But it's a good beer. That tastes just like a normal Mexican style lager. Yeah. What do you know? But it's got a little more like flavor to it than you would out of like a Corona or something like that. It's good. I like it. I'll give it a 4.25.
That's pretty high. That's pretty damn high.
That's good for like summertime, just chilling out on the beach or just chilling in the summertime.
Yes, which summer is coming to an end, and I cannot wait. I cannot wait.
Oh, I can't either.
It's people tell me it's been the hottest summer of all time. I don't know. I don't go outside anymore. But I went to
mention Tripping Animals, by the way.
I know I did. I 100% said, hey, you should probably go to Tripping Animals. It's a really good place to go. It's a cool spot. It's really big. Game room, all that fun stuff. I love Tripping Animals. I always go down there when I go to Miami.
Yeah.
But, it's one of my favorite spots. Anyway, but I went to the spring this weekend. I did a Josh Wingate move. I went to the Springs.
To the Springs.
Lithia Springs. That's what they call it here. It's funny story. When I used to go as a kid, it's like 20, 25 minutes. I haven't taken my kids. It's just a spring, fish in there. There's trails, there's playgrounds, people cook out, all that fun stuff. When I was a child, my dad used to make me hide in the back with my brothers, and he put towels over us so he didn't have to pay for our entry fee. And it's funny that I'm telling my kids that on the way there. Like I said, I've never taken them. So I'm like, all right, I'm going to take them to the Springs. And I get there, and I'm like, oh, $2 a car and $2 per person. My total amount was $8 in 2022. $8. My
Wow.
dad was sneaking us in 1992.
You were probably free anyway.
What was going on? I don't understand what he was doing.
That's funny.
I was talking to my mom about it. I called her on the way home. I'm like, Mom, it only cost me $8. Why did dad always hide us? She's like, it's just one of those things where he just wanted to get over on someone. I'm like, that's weird to try to get over 50 cents or whatever it was back in the day.
That's funny.
Yeah,
but you're probably free back then. If
Yeah.
it's only $8 for all of you, yeah, that's funny.
Oh my gosh, it was so fun though to see my son's reaction to actual fish next to him, because the fish are literally, it's a spring.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
giant fish, there's big fish, there's little fish, and he's just freaking out. And I'm like, all right, dude, we're gonna go home. We're just gonna go. And then 2 hours. It took 2 hours for him to get into the water and be comfortable. And then we stayed for another 2 hours. So
Nice. Sounds like a good time.
it was.
I honestly don't remember what I did this weekend. We actually did nothing. My family is not feeling good this week. My daughter, I told you, we had to take her to the ER one day. Struggled breathing, and then from there, my wife got sick. My immune system is elite, so I'm not getting sick. Last two times my daughter has gotten sick, my wife has gotten sick. Nothing.
Elite over there. You got that from me. I like that. I enjoy
I have an elite immune system. But anyway, let's get into this AFC North, which I know we're going to disagree with each other right off the bat.
You think so?
Oh, 100%.
You think so?
I know so.
All right. Well, let's do it.
Let's go. Let me pull up my list here. Again, like we did last week and weeks before, we're going to go quarterback, rank them, running back, wide receiver, tight end, make it like a receiving group. And then we'll go offensive line as a whole, and then defense as a whole. We'll go bottom to top and tell you what we think. So let's start out with quarterback. But before we do that, Mugs and Balls, all platform, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch. Mugs and Balls across the board. If you want to talk to us, go to YouTube and Twitch. Facebook, we have a little community there. You can join that, have a little conversation with us there, and then YouTube just tweet, or Twitter just tweet at us. Let's go. Who's your number 4 quarterback?
It's going to be, this one's easy, the Steelers, Trubisky, Pickett, that whole group right
Mason
there.
Rudolph.
Rudolph, yeah.
Mine too. It's pretty bad when you know what you're going to get out of Mason Rudolph, and he's kind of the hot name out of that training camp right now. And you're like, oh, really? Like, I have high hopes for Mitch Trubisky. I really do. I think he will do well there. I think he had a really good coach last year in Buffalo, who, I mean, the guy helped out Josh Allen. We know how raw he was. And I can't think of his name right now, but now he's in New York, and he's hoping to do big things over there. But I remember hearing that Josh Allen said, I don't know why we're letting this guy go, because wherever he goes, he's going to blow up. But unfortunately, right now, they don't have a quarterback, and right now they're saying Mason Rudolph is the number 1 quarterback there, so Pittsburgh has to be number 4.
It's funny to me, these depth charts and these training camp reports, and I don't buy, like, this has been the year of, I finally said, I'm 36 years old, I said, finally, fuck it. I'm not listening to these reports anymore, because we hear this. We heard Breece Hall was the 3rd running back on the Jets depth chart. Not to get too off track, but do you really believe Mason Rudolph is the number 1? Because I don't.
I can't. I really can't. It has to be Mitch Trubisky. And that's just reporters from what they're seeing. I think going into Sunday, Mitch Trubisky is going to be the number 1 quarterback on the depth chart. He's going to go out there with him. But yeah, it's not a pretty quarterback room, to be honest with you. I'm not the biggest fan of Kenny Pickett. Old baby hands.
Yes.
So I don't know.
So on number 3, this is where we're probably going to disagree, because I'll just break it down. You got Burrow, that room. You got Watson in that room, and you have Lamar in that room. Mm-hmm. So if I had to choose, this one's hard. This one's really hard. I'm going to go Burrow in that room, because I just think Deshaun Watson and Lamar are just that much better as an athlete. Joe Burrow's, he's good. He has had 2 years, and he went to the Super Bowl in his 2nd year. So that's great. In the AFC, where the AFC is dominant with the Josh Allens, the Herberts, he was able to break through the AFC tournament and get to the Super Bowl. But still, a lot more to prove. Was it just it was wonderful? Was it that one stretch? Because he had a great stretch. Because we've seen Watson and Lamar play. They're MVPs.
Yeah.
Watson's not, but he could be. We'll see if Burrow can get to that level, but I just don't see it. Not right
I
now.
agree.
Not going into the season.
Yeah. I agree with you. Joe Burrow would be the number 3 quarterback. He's got the smallest resume out of that group. And, I mean, he got hurt his first year. He did really well, went to the Super Bowl the second year. But, did it hit you hard?
Yeah. Whew.
It got you. Burned all the way down.
Yeah, it got me good that time.
But yeah, Joe Burrow he's electric. I mean, number 1 overall pick. But this is a really good quarterback group in the AFC North. So
I agree, man. Hey, but you know what's funny about this is we could be totally wrong. And Burrow did Lamar never made a Super Bowl, neither did Watson. What if he just does it again? What if Burrow is that dude? Like he'd be easily.
If he does it again, great. But
yeah.
he has the smallest resume. He has one season of doing something.
I definitely understand what you're saying, but Mahomes only had one resume, and I saw that was good enough for me to say he's the best quarterback in the league besides Rodgers.
Maybe.
We could talk. Did you see that? But off topic. That's what we do here. That's what we do here, guys. We have beers and we just chill. Did you see the Aaron Rodgers stuff on Pardon My Take? Where Big Cat was, oh my gosh, dude, you got to go on Twitter and see these videos. Like Rodgers is like, "Hey, Big Cat, how's it feel having watching football every year and the only thing you get to do is cheer against me because your team sucks?" And Big Cat's like,
what's his team?
The Bears.
Okay.
Yeah. And Big Cat's like, yeah, well, my Super Bowl is you losing in the playoffs, and like it happens all the time. So I have like way more Super Bowls than you. Like it's fucking hilarious, dude. You gotta watch it. I love it. I love it.
I'm not a big Barstool guy.
Neither am I. I'm not either. I used to be. I used to be in the beginning, and then I got really annoyed with that whole I don't want to get into it because they're all jackasses.
I know Big Cat though is kind of like the anti-Barstool fans guy. Like if you don't like Barstool, then most people still enjoy Big Cat.
Big Cat's great.
Yeah.
Big Cat could be somewhere else bigger and better. That's all I'll say.
Yep. So my number 2, I'll go because you went first twice, would be the Cleveland Browns and Deshaun Watson. He's a lot of hype. What has he done? Honestly. Like, he looks good, but there's a lot of hype. He doesn't have much on his resume, really.
Wait, who'd you put it to?
Deshaun Watson.
That's where we're going to disagree.
Yeah, I knew we would.
I got Lamar at number 2. What is Deshaun Watson proven? He's an elite athlete that can throw the ball and rush if he needs to. He was labeled as the Michael Jordan coming out of that draft.
Yeah, by his head coach.
Yeah, and guess what? He wasn't wrong.
Dabo Sweeney.
But he wasn't wrong. He wasn't wrong at all. I don't know. He's been the best. He's been really good.
Has he not been wrong? Okay, quick question. Has Deshaun Watson made the playoffs?
He's been on the Houston Texans, first off.
Doesn't matter. Does not matter. Has he made the playoffs?
Doesn't matter. What does that mean? It doesn't matter. He's on the
Joe Burrow is a part of the Cincinnati Bengals.
Yes, and they loaded it up with Joe Mixon, with all these guys, with T. Higgins and Jamar Chase. What has Deshaun Watson been surrounded with?
Okay, he has been to the playoffs. He is 1-2 in the playoffs.
There you go. He's been to the playoffs 3 times. Of course he's been. But my point is...
No, he's been to the playoffs twice. He won one and then lost, and then lost again.
I think he says 1-2. Whatever. He's been there. And he's a better, efficient thrower than Lamar Jackson. And I think overall, in the grand scheme of things, who am I going to get to play the next 8 years? I think Watson has a better chance. Lamar, he's not a better passer. He can't make those passes like Watson can. And they can both run. So the difference to me is the passing yardage. But Lamar has the leadership. Honestly, it's a toss-up to me. It really is a toss-up to me.
Yeah. I think Lamar is the better athlete, obviously. If we were going to take who we would take in these categories, passing, rushing, leadership, I'm taking Lamar in 2 of the 3. And I still believe Lamar is improving as a passer. We're seeing him every year improve as a passer. And I don't know. I'm just a big Lamar guy. I think he gets a lot of hate for nothing. He's been to did he go to the AFC Championship game, or he was one game away,
He was one game away. Now here's the thing with Lamar. I'm a
and
big
he has
Lamar
an
guy
MVP?
too. I'm a Lamar guy too. I love
Yeah,
Lamar. I love watching him play. I think he can make the throws eventually. I just don't think that he is as a quarterback. As an athlete, he's the best on this in the whole division.
yeah.
As a quarterback, as someone leading my huddle, I'd rather have Deshaun Watson, who I think can make better reads, who does make better reads and makes better decisions. Whereas Lamar, I feel like he doesn't. I think he's tunnel visioned, and when that tunnel's gone, when that tunnel's blackened out, he just runs.
So, do you think the issue in Baltimore is it's not Lamar, because you notice they don't like to give Lamar the ball at the end of the game, even though you know he can do it. He's proven time and time that he can be a clutch guy at the end of the game. But what about the offense coordinator? He spoils his time in every city he's in. He was in San Francisco with Colin Kaepernick, and he tried to create this pocket passer with Colin Kaepernick and not allow him to run the ball, and it just got weird there for a little bit. And then he goes to Buffalo, and he does the exact same thing, and he's more of a run heavy guy.
Mm-hmm.
And you have a weapon here in Lamar Jackson. Why not use the guy? And his play calling is just so weird, and I don't know. I think it's more of a Greg Roman thing than a Lamar Jackson thing. And if you got a new offensive coordinator in there that could use Lamar to his fullest, you would see. Whew, I think it'd get crazy.
I would love to see that. I would love to see him turn it up this year and throw for 4,000 and still rush for like 600, 800, not 1,000.
Yeah.
We don't need him to rush that much. But he lost his number one target. Andrews is his number one, but losing Hollywood's huge. Losing Hollywood Brown, people forget how good he was last year. He was huge for that team, and I don't think they can replace that with Bateman. I think Bateman's going to be fine, but Bateman's
I think
not Hollywood.
Bateman's going to be a better receiver than Hollywood.
I hope.
Overall.
I really
Might not
do.
next year, but in his career, he'll be a better receiver.
I really hope so.
He will be. So let's see. Lamar had, last year 2,800 yards passing.
He missed a lot of time last year.
He did.
He missed at least 5 games, I want to say.
Yep. So the most he's had is 3,000 passing yards and 1,000 rushing yards.
Yep. And then he had like that crazy amount of touchdown, the super efficient touchdown year where he won the MVP. And he rushed for it. Well, I want to see the passing numbers go up. I want to see the accuracy numbers go up. And I want to see his clutchness go up. We've seen Watson come back. We've seen Watson do these games where it's 45-46 against Russell Wilson on a Sunday afternoon at 4 o'clock. We've seen these games with him where he's gone toe to toe with Dak. He's gone toe to toe with Brady.
Yeah.
We haven't seen, and now that I'm getting into it, we haven't seen Lamar come back. We've seen Watson with the deficit. We've seen Watson face down the barrel of a fucking shotgun and say, you know what, shoot, because I'm coming for you. Lamar doesn't do that because their offense, like you said, they're more of a run-heavy team and they don't set up for success. He can't make that comeback, and he hasn't yet.
And I don't know. I just want Lamar to go somewhere, if not in Baltimore, because there's a lot of talk of him going to Miami, which I'm sure you would be happy about.
That'd be super cool.
Yeah. I just want to see him be able to ball out because I think he's being handcuffed a little bit, and I think he needs to have that ability to just show off what he can do because he might be one of the best talents overall that we've seen in the NFL. He's very on pace with Michael Vick. I think he might be a better passer than Michael Vick.
I think he's already a better passer than Michael Vick. I already think that.
And, I mean, he's done better rushing things than Michael Vick.
I think he's a better. I was about to say I think he's a better runner too. I never. And this is totally different. We can have a different podcast in this, but I never thought Michael Vick was that special. He was special, but not as.
He's the first to do it, other than and be allowed to do what he did. He wasn't forced.
Overlook when he played a very difficult defense, like when he played Tampa twice a year. When Tampa was Tampa, when they had Lynch and all these guys, they shut his ass down like every single time. He wasn't smart. He wasn't he didn't see the field. When he rushed, he did. He had a great vision for rushing, but he could not see Lynch coming back there, Brooks over here in the middle. Like he just didn't have it. He didn't have the vision for passing. But Michael Vick was an extremely great athlete. He was the first to do it.
Yeah, and that's the thing. And we should be seeing that with Lamar. Like we should have a Lamar Jackson experience going on commercials and
Mm-hmm.
things like that because what Lamar's doing is crazy.
He
And
should
even
be
his
more
own fans are split amongst whether they should have Lamar or not. And
he should be more marketable for sure.
yeah. And what he like the here's my thing about Lamar. What this man does in his community is next level. I mean, the man's just walking around like hanging out with people and he does stuff for the community all the time. And I know a lot of NFL players do, but he's kind of made Baltimore his city. And it's just cool, so cool to see what he does there. But we can move on. Enough of my gushing over Lamar Jackson.
Jesus, I thought you guys were going to fucking marry him already.
Running backs. We could be a little split here too, in my opinion.
You go first this time. You open it up.
My number 4.
Hard.
What's that?
This is hard. This is a hard one because they all have really good running back. They have all good running back rooms. I think
is the Cincinnati Bengals.
That's your least favorite running back room, huh?
Joe Mixon, Samaje P. Ryan, Chris Evans. I just like what they have there. I think we said this last week about the wide receiver group and the just receiving group overall in that division. You kind of have that in this division with the running back group. You just don't have a lot of backups that are worth anything. Joe Mixon he's starting to get more consistent, but he's been overall like inconsistent throughout his career. I don't know. I'm just Cincinnati Bengals. Whatever.
Here's where I go Baltimore.
Ooh.
And here's why. J.K. Dobbins coming off that injury. He's on the PUP list. I believe he's still on there, and we don't know how healthy he's going to be. Same thing for Gus Edwards. How healthy is this dude? Other than that, what could they possibly have back there? Are they going to bring back the ghost of Le'Veon Bell or Devontae Freeman again?
They have Mike Davis, Tyler Beatty.
Yeah, I know who they have, but come on. They had Tyson Williams last year, and he played one good game.
And they produced.
Exactly. So is it the running backs or the system? I'm not completely sold.
I mean, last week we had that same argument, and you had what, San Francisco number 1 on your list with players that were injured.
Because I love Elijah Mitchell, but they're not hurt. They're not hurt going. We're talking about going into the season.
Okay.
Going to the season, Gus Edwards and J.K. Dobbins are still a question mark going into the season for week 1. That is a problem. If you don't think that's a problem, then I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah.
For your top 2 running backs to be questionable before preseason sucks. That's why they're just my last place. But the Bengals would be my third for sure. They don't have the depth, and the same thing about Mixon, like you said, super inconsistent. Last year he had a great year, but that offense is so slow. 31st in the NFL in snaps in snap play because they just wear down the clock and they're not fast at all. Yeah. So Joe Mixon had to be super efficient last year. Is he going to be that efficient this year? I don't think so. I see his yards per carry can possibly go down. And in that back, what are you going to do? Samaje Perine's just a guy. Chris Evans hasn't proven anything.
I mean, he's not Captain America, so.
That's so lame. No, but Samaje Perine, dude, when he gets a chance, he's pretty good. Have you noticed? He's pretty good. He's just a guy, though. He is.
Like, he can do a little bit. I mean, enough to be a backup in the NFL, but other than that, he's a big body guy. That's about it. My next group is going to be the Pittsburgh Steelers. Najee Harris, Benny Snell Jr., Anthony McFarland, a very young group there. I love Benny Snell. I love Najee Harris. It's just I love the other groups a little better. And Najee is obviously the star of that group. I wanted to see Benny go to the Jets, so it could be Benny and the Jets.
Yeah.
But Najee Harris, he's an all-around really good running back. I think in his future he could be one of the top running backs in this league, if not number 1. Sometime in his career, he could have a point where he's looked at as the best running back in the league just because what he does. He's good out of the backfield. He runs the ball really well. He's a good blocker. He's just that really good overall back. Kind of similar to Zeke early on in his career. Could just do everything really well. And the Pittsburgh Steelers offensive line has improved, so that's going to make this overall group really good.
That's why I got them at my number 2, Najee. When I look at running back groups, I go, okay, who can be the guy? who could be the running back of the NFL. And in this whole division, I think it's Najee. He's the best running back in the entire division. So that's why he got the extra boost. Benny Snell can get it done. He's not special, just like the other guys, but I like him. McFarland, I want to see more. I heard good things coming out of college for this guy, and he hasn't done anything. But Najee and that offensive line gives him that extra boost to be number 2 for me in Pittsburgh.
I'm a big Benny Snell guy. I loved him out of college, but he's gotten hurt, so we don't know. My number 2 is going to be the Baltimore Ravens. You talked about them. You were concerned about the injury history, which is a valid concern. But if they're healthy, they're fighting for number 1 in this group. J.K. Dobbins, Gus Edwards, Mike Davis, Tyler Beatty. Just a really good overall group and in a run-first offense.
Yeah. See, that's what makes it special. It's a run-first offense, but who are they going to run? And my problem is, this is more of a fantasy problem, and this is why I didn't like J.K. Dobbins, even if he is healthy. Is he getting those goal line carries? Is Lamar stealing touchdowns? Is Gus Edwards stealing touchdowns? Because most likely Gus is stealing the touchdowns. Which that's why we count it as a room, because they work really, really well together. Gus Edwards is no nonsense. Give me the ball straight up the middle. I'm getting 5 yards every time. Yep. That's Gus Edwards. Give me the ball. I will find the hole and I will dive for 5 yards. That's his job. He's awesome at it. He's kind of like my number 1 group, Nick Chubb in the Browns, which is your number 1 group.
Yep.
Nick Chubb is by far the purest runner in the NFL. He is the best running the football.
Yeah.
Not the best running back, just seeing the hole, exploding through the hole. How many times are you watching Red Zone and you're like, Nick Chubb just ran for a 65-yard touchdown? Dude does it all the time. It's insane. And then you have Kareem Hunt back there, if he's still there today at this time at 9:12 p.m. on the East Coast. I don't know. I heard he's getting traded.
Yeah, right.
And then Dearness Johnson. That guy's special. That guy's good.
Yeah.
He's 3rd string right now. So you can get rid of Hunt, and you can still have 2 of the best running back groups in the whole world.
Yeah, and I agree with you. I mean, obviously, I like Nick Chubb just because I'm a Georgia fan. And crazy of me to say, him coming out, I didn't think he was going to do anything because he didn't have the speed. He has the vision, obviously, but somehow he makes it all work. And it's been like that through college as well. He just finds a way to make everything work, and he does it really, really well. I mean, he's a gym guy. We all see the videos of him squatting crazy amounts of weight, and it's just unbelievable. But Nick Chubb is just unreal. He's one of my favorite players that came out of Georgia. Him and I can't think of his name right now. My mind is just crazy right now. But yeah, obviously, if you don't have the Browns as the best group in the AFC North at running back, I feel like you're wrong 100%.
So where do you think I'm sure you see the rumblings of Kareem Hunt getting traded somewhere. Where do you think he is going if he does get traded?
I have no clue.
Give me a top 3 wish list for you that you think would be a good fit. I have 3 teams in mind.
I don't think it would happen, but I'd love to see him back in Kansas City.
Yep.
I'd love to. You're going to disagree with me, but I would love to see him in Detroit.
I would hate that. I would hate that so much.
And I would love to see him in Arizona.
I would love that. So you named 2 of my 3 teams: Arizona, Kansas City.
I just where I stand on the Detroit running game.
I know. Just how amazing would it be if Kansas City ever had a running back like Kareem Hunt? That'd be awesome.
Yeah, right.
That'd be awesome if they did that.
But I also see why they don't.
I understand why they don't.
Yeah.
But time's passed, and we moved on to Hayden Watson now, so we can get Kareem Hunt back. My 3rd spot, I would love for him. I know they have a million running backs, just maybe because I'm biased as well, but Miami would be awesome. Because Miami doesn't have a true number 1. They just don't. And I would just love that offense to get a true number 1. That's it. That's just my personal. I just want to see it happen. Go to the wide receivers
as well. Hold up, real quick. As well, Jacksonville wouldn't be a bad spot for him.
No, Jacksonville would be a really good spot for him. Fitting right in there. You wouldn't need James Robinson anymore, and then you can run with him and Travis Etienne.
No, you would need James Robinson and Kareem Hunt, and you can just figure out a way to get rid of Travis Etienne.
I've been trying to trade Etienne in my Dynasty League for 2 days now.
Yeah.
I'm surprised no one's buying. Maybe because I'm trying to trade too high.
What is the news on? Have you heard any news on him out of camp?
Who, ETN?
Yeah.
No, this year I'm trying something different. I'm trying to stay away from Twitter and all
Yeah.
this camp news because it's all fake. It's all just smoke and mirrors. I don't believe any of it, man. We get burnt by Terrace Marshalls and Jalen Ragers and all these
Yeah.
Brian Edwards. Like, I'm just over it. I'm over it. I just want to see the games. I don't want to see Saquon running in shorts. Oh, running back one's back.
Oh.
Yeah.
Could
Let
you
me go
imagine if he's number one, the running back number one?
He never will be. It'll be 0% chance. 0%.
What if he is though?
He's not, then I'm gone.
You're gone.
You'll never see me again.
Really?
Yeah, that's true. If he finishes running back one, you'll never see me on social media, Twitter again, ever. I'm just done. I'm done with you people.
Saquon for number one. There we go. So let's move on to the wide receiver group.
Put flyers up everywhere.
Get
rid of Kimmel forever. Saquon.
Number one.
Everyone tag Saquon. Say end Kimmel or whatever you guys want to do.
Yeah. So what is your number 4 receiving group, wide receiver, tight end? Who do you have?
Oh, yeah, tight ends as well. Man, that makes it a little bit harder. I'm going to go Cleveland just for the fact that Amari Cooper, Donovan Peoples-Jones, David Njoku, just not really impressive. Not at all.
No.
I feel bad for Watson. I don't feel bad for Watson at all, actually. But I feel bad for the fan base that has to watch this receiver group. Peoples-Jones is not that good. Peoples-Jones, people are hoping he's going to be good because he's just the number 2 there, but he's not that good.
No. And Justin of the network, he's a big David Bell fan. He's a rookie, though. And you're expecting a lot out of a rookie. And in my opinion, I think Amari Cooper's on the downward slope.
Of course he is. That's why Dallas got rid of him.
A lot of people don't agree. A lot of people are like, it's crazy that Dallas got rid of him. But I feel like he's on his downward slope. He's injured often. Yeah. He's a really good route runner, though. I mean, there you go. But I also see him taking plays off. I went to the Washington game. I think I mentioned this on a previous show. And I just watched him. And the whole receiving core, when he was in, just kind of like lollygagged and everything. And I reached out to one of my Cowboy guys, and I was like, this receiver group just doesn't feel like they're trying. He's like, yeah, I've noticed that on film too. So, I don't know. That could be a reason why Amari left. Yeah. He might not be the best locker room guy.
Nah, and that's not good to go into a room with a young receiving group like that.
So, we'll see what we get out of them. But, yeah, they were my number 4 Cleveland Browns. My number 3 is the Pittsburgh Steelers. Deontay Johnson, George Pickens, Chase Claypool, Calvin Austin, Anthony Miller. What's that look for?
Number 3?
Yeah.
Are you serious? You're putting Baltimore over them.
Yeah.
That's what you're telling me.
Yeah.
That's what you're telling me.
I am telling you that.
Explain.
I mean, I like Deontay Johnson. They're obviously their best receiver there. Drops the ball a lot. George Pickens is a rookie. Chase Claypool is really good. But after that, they don't really have much. And then Baltimore.
You just named Chase Claypool.
Yep.
George
Deontay
Pickens.
Johnson.
Deontay
George
Johnson.
Pickens. Yeah.
Firemouth.
Yeah.
And then you said, that's all they got.
No, I didn't even mention Freiermuth because I don't consider him as a big threat. Like, he's not a big receiving threat. He's a safety valve, yeah.
Yeah, safety valve, which they'll be using this year a lot.
But then you throw that into a group of Mark Andrews, Rashad Bateman, Devin Duvernay, which, whatever, take Duvernay as you will. Nick Boyle, who is just as good as Pat Freiermuth, in my opinion. Like, you can't put Pat Freiermuth in there as a receiver and not say Nick Boyle is not comparable.
I think you've been spending way too much time on Baltimore spaces because you're naming guys like Duvernay, who's not even on Claypool's level, not even close to his level.
Name someone that's on Mark Andrews' level on the Steelers.
As tight end or as receiver
just
overall?
As a receiver.
Deontay Johnson. Overall, no. Deontay Johnson, this dude is money. I think you underestimate
he's good,
him.
But he's not Mark Andrews' receiving ability.
I don't know.
As a threat.
I think he's a true number one. I don't think you treat him as that. I think you think he's a number two or a gadget guy or a short Jarvis Landry possession kind of receiver, which he's not. We're going to see a different offense with these new quarterbacks. Ben was literally snap, throw, snap, throw, snap, throw. We're going to see what happens when Trubisky is playing hero ball and Deontay Johnson is forced to make bigger plays.
Yeah, we'll see. George Pickens hasn't played really in a year. I'm a big George Pickens guy, obviously out of Georgia. But we'll see what we get out of him. And Claypool, Claypool's really good. I think Claypool's the best receiver in that group, in my opinion.
He's getting beat out by Pickens apparently, according
really?
to the beat writers and shit. Like,
but the beat writers don't really like Chase Claypool because he's on TikTok. So take that as you will.
Yeah. Well, they're my number. Baltimore's my number 3 for the reason of you have Andrews and you have Bateman, but other than that, the cliff falls off. Like so Pittsburgh, you're here and then you go down. Pittsburgh's or Baltimore's like this, and literally like you're on a roller coaster. You're just done. After those two, which is, I just don't know how you have a better number 2 with Duvernay over Claypool, even if you think.
Well, the number 2 in Baltimore is Rashad Bateman.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah,
that's fair. You're right. You know what? That's why we do the show. That's why we have conversations. It's just, I think Deontay Johnson's way better than you think he is. I think
he is too, but he drops the ball a lot.
Well, so did Jamar Chase led the league in drops.
Okay, but he also probably led the league in targets.
No, he didn't lead the league in targets. Deontay had more targets, but
wow.
Yeah, Jamar Chase didn't have. He had. I think T. Higgins had more targets.
I personally think Jamar Chase is overrated.
I can't wait to get to him. I bet you he's our number 1 though. Who's your number 2 then?
Mine is the Baltimore Ravens.
Yep, Baltimore Ravens.
Honestly, Mark Andrews, I think he's one of the best receivers in this whole division. Obviously, he's a tight end, and I'm a big fan of Rashad Bateman. And I really do think they're going to find something out of that group of Duvernay Prochet. I really do. And then Nick Boyle out of UD, University of Delaware. Nick Boyle.
I know Nick Boyle
is a really good tight end. Like, he's not a great tight end, but he's a good tight end that is a really good receiving tight end. You're not going to get a lot of blocking, but he's a receiving tight end that can move the chains for you. Just like Freiermuth.
Stay off them Raven spaces, man.
No, I'm just saying.
You're getting the brainwash in there.
Freiermuth is... I tell me Nick Boyle and Freiermuth receiving ability. I can promise you they're the same.
They're probably the same. One will have more opportunity because obviously
he's the number 1 tight end.
Exactly. So Freiermuth is a good safety valve. I've been down. People are drafting him in Dynasty like he's the next big thing. I'm like, guys, stop. He's not the next big thing. He was just... Ben was just comfortable, and it was easy to get.
This year he could be. They got young quarterbacks that could want to throw to the tight end.
I hope. So number 1,
Cincinnati,
easy. Chase, Boyd, Higgins, even their tight end group.
Hayden Hurst, Drew Sample.
Hayden. Hayden Hurst. What a weird draft that was.
They drafted Hayden Hurst in the first round, and then went back and got Mark Andrews. I was a big Mark Andrews guy coming out of OU. You can just tell. Like, you can tell when a tight end is going to be really good. Mm-hmm. They just got that body style.
Big Bride.
And, oh, my goodness. I loved Andrews coming out.
So, who is it? So, Hayden Hurst. What do we think about him? Is he going to
I don't know. Anything? Like, what does the NFL think about him? Baltimore let him go. He went to Atlanta. Atlanta got rid of him after 1 year.
Yeah.
And now he's in Cincinnati. Like, is he going to work out? Probably not.
Probably
is Drew Sample going to be tight end 1 there?
Drew Sample, get the fuck out of here. But yeah, they're not even just a top wide receiver group in this division. Probably the whole league. Probably the whole league. I mean, if you actually broke it down, they'll be in the top 5. That's how good the Bengals are, and I think they're going to be. Ooh. You don't think they're in the top 5?
I don't know. You just look at them and then you throw them in that division that we had last week, and you're like, there's competition in that division, like hardcore competition just in that division alone.
Oh, I
And then
agree.
you got the whole NFL to open it up to.
Oh, I agree. I say they're top 5 in the whole damn division.
Are
The
they a
whole
better
NFL.
receiving group than, let's say, Miami?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
I don't know.
You got dude. Boyd makes a difference. People sleep on
Oh,
Boyd.
Boyd, I love their three. Their three is really good.
Yeah, Boyd is a amazing.
Are they better than a team we did a couple weeks ago? Tampa Bay.
Yes.
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 Wow.
Give me
I don't
Chase.
know about
Give me
that.
Chase over Evans, and give me Higgins over Godwin. Yes. Yes. Yeah, and give me.
We're
Boyd
not talking
over,
fantasy here. We're talking
No.
NFL.
Yeah, yeah. Give me Boyd over of Gage.
Wow.
Yes.
No.
And I'm not even talking about Julio right now because his hammy probably already broken.
That's crazy. Wow, that's crazy. I can't with that because Cincinnati Bengals have a really good young core of receivers, but top 5, I don't know about top 10 definitely.
Top 5.
Okay.
Fantasy baby. That's what I do. I'm sorry. Sorry,
So-
they're really good.
Moving on from there, our offensive line group. What do you?
Don't look at me.
Why?
Let me tell you a secret. I've had a migraine all day today.
Oh, I had a
All day.
text message from somebody at. Let's see.
Yeah, I said, "Are you going to be ready for the show?" Because I was insinuating. Then I went to sleep, and then I went to sleep because I promise you, I had the biggest migraine today. I didn't do anything for offensive line. But I can
Nothing.
tell you,
Okay.
I can tell you what I think. Honestly,
Okay. Yeah, that's
tell
all
you
we're
what I
looking
think.
for. That's literally the show.
All right. Here's what I think. I think the worst offensive line is Ravens.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, I have Cincinnati Bengals at number 4.
They're my number 3.
Okay. Ravens are my number 3.
Oh, okay. So we're because I think number 1 easily to me is the Browns and number 2 is Pittsburgh. I know I
Yeah.
just jumped the gun.
We're right there. We're just swapped on Ravens and Bengals. I can't trust what the Bengals have until I see it. It was really bad last year.
Yeah.
And then the Ravens.
Well, they added to their offensive line. That's why I didn't put them dead last. I want to make sure. Yes, Joe Burrow got sacked like 10 million times that one game, and they still won. But they made improvements. I think it was from the Buccaneers. Alex Kappa went over there. We talked about that when we covered the Bucks. So
Alex Kappa went over there, yes.
Yep.
Jonah Williams is their left tackle. They obviously got Lael Collins. And
they've been trying. They've been making improvements.
But let's see it first. It's my opinion. There's some good players on there, but we haven't seen them as a group yet, and I don't know. And then you got the Ravens, who have a good offensive line, but they're missing some pieces. Their left tackle, we don't know what you're going to get out of that. Ronnie Stanley, he's on the PUP list. He was out last year. But they did draft Tyler Linderbaum. You don't know what's going to go on with the left guard position. But they did get Kevin Zeitler. And they have Morgan Moses on that right side. So we'll see. I mean, Kevin Zeitler's been there for a couple years.
Right.
And Tyler Linderbaum's supposed to be the best center to come out in some time. So
there we go. Let's move on to defenses, man. I think this is going to be different because I think I have a good idea on defenses.
Okay.
So give me your number 5. I went first last time.
Well, there's only 4. So Cincinnati Bengals is my number 4.
They're obviously my number 4 too, but yeah, they're 5th. That's how bad they are. They're my number 5. That's how bad.
A lot of people are hyping this defense up like, oh my God, the secondary is so good. They played pretty good in the playoffs. I'll give them that. And their front 4 did really good. Not even the front 4. Their pass rusher did really well. I'll give them that much. But
So number 3 is going to be, I think, different. I have Pittsburgh. They have a good pass rush. They have some decent pieces in the secondary. But I put them at my number 3 because I think that their players are a lot of, like Mika Fitzpatrick, right? He's a lot of hit or miss. He's either really bad or really good. You don't think so?
no.
I do. I see a lot but I said that about Palomalu as well, and people they just yelled at me, wanted to kill me.
We have
'Cause
Hall of Fame Troy Polamalu.
Yeah, but he's not even better than Rashad Jones out of Miami, and that's a 1,000% fact. It's just because he has long hair and he's marketable. That's why he's in the Hall of Fame. But that's just me. I don't know.
I mean, sure, yeah, we'll go with that one. He just wasn't all over the field at every given time.
And he made a lot of mistakes. A lot. But guess what? The splash plays, the memories, that's what
Have you heard the Pat McAfee story of Troy Polamalu?
No.
You got to YouTube that as soon as you get off. It's one of the greatest. Like, it's funny and it's just amazing, and it tells the story of Troy Polamalu. So my number 3 is the Cleveland Browns.
Okay.
Me saying that, they have a really good defense. They really do, and I think from 1 to 3 is a really good defense. But for some reason, it never works out for the Cleveland Browns. They have a lot of pieces there, but somehow they don't play as a unit.
Yeah, and I got Baltimore at my number 2.
We have the same Baltimore Ravens at number 2. New defensive coordinator coming in. I think they're going to have one of the best secondaries in all of football. But that's also going to be, what do you have in the front 7? And we're curious about that. They added a lot of pieces, but who's going to rush the passer? I like their defensive line, but it's really just who's going to go after the quarterback.
And I think that's why I have Cleveland at number 1, because they have the guy to get after the quarterback.
Yeah, they do.
They have the guy.
If he's not showing up, then the defense isn't showing up at all, and it looks bad. They're just so inconsistent, and they ride off of Myles Garrett 100%.
He is, like, to me, probably my favorite defensive end to watch, or edge rusher, or whatever you want to call him.
Well, and that's why my number 1 is the Pittsburgh Steelers, because TJ Watt.
You love Watt better. See, I prefer my guy.
Yeah.
Over Watt.
I love both of them, but TJ Watt is just that dude. And I just, Minka Fitzpatrick, you said he's not that good. It might just be a little Steelers safety hate from you.
Got rid of that
because you brought up Troy Polamalu too. But
because Rashad Jones is a better safety, hands down. Look at the numbers. And Miami got rid of Mika. He's done. He trademarked Fitzmagic. Screw that guy.
He came from Miami, so
yeah, he was a cancer. And get rid of him.
And I really like Cameron Hayward as well on their defensive line.
Yes,
They always just have a really good defensive unit, so it's hard not to mention them. But I will say, and you could say it's just I'm drinking the Kool-Aid a little too much, but I think Baltimore is going to have one of the best secondaries in all of football.
Yeah, you are in those spaces on a daily basis, and you got to like chill out a little bit. Maybe enter someone else, like another team, another fan base, real quick, just to because I feel like you're a hardcore Ravens fan right now, and it doesn't make sense.
Oh, I'm not. I mean, the only reason I will root for the Ravens is because if I do, I get free coffee on Monday from Dunkin' Donuts. So, yeah, let's go Ravens.
Let's go
Even
Ravens.
though I will say, and don't sponsor us in the future, Dunkin' Donuts, because I hate your coffee.
I didn't want to say it because you were super hyped about it, but gosh, I'd rather have no coffee.
Their coffee is just so bad. And it's bad that they're always like, well, Dunkin' Donuts is the East Coast favorite coffee. And
no,
then,
it's not. It's not.
No. Give me Starbucks all day. I think we've had this conversation before.
I go to my local establishments. I'm a small business supporter. I don't support the big man. But
we don't really have too much.
If I had to go to a chain, it'd be Starbucks, unfortunately. But because gosh, I'll never forget going inside of a Dunkin' out here in Tampa. Hey, I want a cold brew. I want a cold brew. The lady goes, "You want that iced or hot?" I said, "Cancel." I said, "Cancel." And I walked out.
Cancel my coffee because I said cold brew.
Like they don't know. We don't need.
It's awful. It really is.
It's the worst.
And well, you also have, and I don't know if they do iced coffee, but what's the donut place out there that you guys have?
You have a donut place out here?
It's the Krispy Kreme.
You guys have Krispy Kreme. You guys don't have Krispy Kreme?
Not in Delaware, to my knowledge, no.
Oh, I thought that was like a nationwide thing.
It is. Our closest one is in Maryland, Salisbury, Maryland. That's about an hour drive from me. I'm not driving an hour to go get some Krispy Kreme, even though I've considered it a couple times.
I've been to Krispy Kreme's like 10 minutes from me. I've only been once in my life. I've only been once in my life.
I've been once in my life too, and it was in Florida. Before we went to Disney, the hot, fresh sign was on. We went in. I probably ate about 6 of them, and because you can eat so many Krispy Kremes at one time.
Yeah.
And
really
then after a while, that just expands in your stomach. This hot dough just expands, and you're like, oh my God, that was a bad idea.
Krispy Kremes is my childhood because my parents used to get those donuts and bring them home. But we never went in. I guess because you can buy them at Publix or whatever. So
Yeah,
that's what
yeah,
we
at the
would
grocery
do.
store. That's where we would be able to get Krispy Kreme, but nothing beats
Yeah,
a
so
hot, fresh Krispy Kreme glazed donut.
and I've been in the lobby one time and I got a fresh one straight out of the conveyor belt, whatever, and
Yeah.
it was really good. I just don't never something I'm like, hey, I'm just gonna get a donut.
So, in my opinion, if I can go to Starbucks, get their iced black coffee, unsweetened black coffee, and then get a Krispy Kreme donut, dip it in there, eat it, or bite it, drink, best combination in the entire world.
In the world.
Oh my God. Anyway, Mugs and Balls, all platform, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, again. Again, Josh Kimmel OUS, Josh Wingate 302. Hit us up on Twitter. And we are a part of the Say It Again network. And I'm pretty sure Josh Kimmel is trying to stumble around right now to figure out what he is going to say for his ending saying.
The wise man accepts his pain, endures it, but does not add to it.